Hey, it's 11 p.m. You brushed your teeth 15 minutes ago. You're in your pajamas. The lights are off, and you're standing in front of the refrigerator. The little light inside hits your face like a confessional. Your hand is already reaching. You don't even remember walking here. You're not hungry. Your stomach isn't growling. You had dinner at 7. But something inside your head just whispered, just one bite. Just a little something. You deserve it. 10 minutes later, the leftover pizza is gone. The cheese drawer looks like a crime scene. And you're sitting on the couch with crumbs on your shirt, asking the same question you've asked 100 times before. Why did I just do that? My name is Mike. And I spend way too much time thinking about why smart, capable, otherwise disciplined people eat when they are not hungry. If you've ever felt like your own brain is sabotaging your body, hit subscribe right now. Because this video is not a diet. It's not a meal plan. It's an owner's manual for your head. And once you see how the machine works, you can't unsee it. Here's what most people get wrong. They think overeating is a moral failure. Lack of discipline. Weakness. That's what the diet industry has been selling you for 40 years. Just try harder. Just say no. Just have willpower. But here's the thing. You can't willpower your way out of a biological system that was designed to do exactly what it's doing. Let me say that again. Your brain is not broken. Your brain is working perfectly. It's just working perfectly for the wrong environment. Your brain evolved 50,000 years ago. Back then, food was scarce. Sugar was rare to once a year honey find. Fat was survival. Salt was precious. And your brain developed a system to make sure you ate whenever food was available, because you never knew when the next meal would come. That system is called dopamine. And here's where everyone gets confused. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. They think it's what makes you feel good when you eat chocolate, win a game, or get likes on Instagram. That's wrong. Dopamine is not pleasure. Dopamine is anticipation. It's the chemical that says do that thing again before you even know if the thing was good. Here's the experiment that proved this. Scientists put electrodes in rats' brains. They let the rats press a lever to get a tiny dopamine hit. Just anticipation. No food. No reward. The rats pressed the lever until they collapsed from exhaustion. They didn't even eat. They just pressed the lever. Because dopamine doesn't care about satisfaction. It cares about seeking. Now look at your 11 p.m. fridge visit. You're not seeking food. You're seeking the dopamine spike that comes before the food. The anticipation of opening the fridge. The choosing. The unwrapping. That tiny little rush of maybe this will make me feel better. And here's the killer. After the spike comes the crash. When you eat processed food as sugar, refined carbs, chips, cookies, ice cream, you get a fast, sharp dopamine spike. It feels good for about 90 seconds. Then dopamine drops below baseline, lower than before you ate. You are now in a dopamine deficit. You feel worse than you did before you opened the fridge. And what does your brain want when it's in a deficit? Another spike. One cookie, 90 seconds of okay crash feels worse, wants another cookie. This is not a theory. This is neuroscience. This is why one chip turns into the whole bag. This is why just one bite never works. Because your brain doesn't want one bite. It wants the spike. And the spike only comes from the chase. Now you might be thinking, okay Mike, but I'm not a rat in a lab. I'm a person with free will. Sure. But your free will lives inside a dopamine economy. And right now, the economy is rigged against you. Let's do the math. Because math doesn't apologize. Let's say you eat 150 extra calories at night. That's 2 small chocolate chip cookies. 2. That's nothing, right? 150 calories times 7 nights a week equals 1050 extra calories per week. 1050 times 4 weeks equals 4,200 extra calories per month. There are 7,700 calories in 1 kilogram of body fat. So 4,200 calories is 0.55 kilograms. A little over half a kilo. That means 2 cookies a night become half a kilo of fat every 2 months. 6 kilograms a year. 13 pounds. From 2 cookies a night. But wait, you don't eat cookies every night. Fine. Let's talk about weekends only. Most people are good Monday through Friday. Salads. Gym. Pride. Then Saturday comes. Hey, I've been good. I deserve this. a bag of chips, a takeout pizza, 2 beers, a donut at the coffee shop. By Sunday night, here's what happened: 600 extra calories on Saturday, 500 extra on Sunday. That's 1100 calories per weekend. No big deal, right? It's just the weekend. Let's do the math again. 1100 extra calories times 52 weekends equals 57,200 extra calories per year. 57,200, 7,700 equals 7.4 kilograms of body fat. 7.5 kilos. 16 pounds. From weekends only. And here's the part nobody talks about. You don't even enjoy most of it. You eat while watching Netflix. You eat while scrolling your phone. You barely taste the second slice. You finish the chips and don't remember opening the bag. That's not eating. That's automatic behavior. That's a dopamine script running in the background. Now let's talk about the real driver. The thing nobody wants to admit. Stress. When you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol tells your brain, we're in danger. Need energy fast. Now. And what's the fastest source of energy? Sugar. Fat. Calories. Your body doesn't know the difference between a lion chasing you and an angry email from your boss. It just knows, cortisol up, need fuel. So you reach for something sweet, something crunchy, something that gives that quick spike. You're not weak, you're biological. A study from UC San Francisco followed 200 people for a year. Those with high stress levels ate 40% more processed food than the low stress group. Not because they were hungrier, because their cortisol was higher. Here's what I want you to hear: this is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. So what do you actually do about it? Not try harder, not just eat less. That doesn't work. If it worked, you would have done it already. Here's what works. Next time you find yourself in front of the fridge at 11 p.m., stop, take one breath, and ask yourself one question. Not should I eat this? That's a guilt question. Guilt leads to shame. Shame leads to more eating. Ask this instead: am I hungry, or am I something else? Am I hungry, or am I bored? Am I hungry, or am I tired? Am I hungry, or am I stressed? Am I hungry, or am I lonely? Am I hungry, or am I just in the habit of eating right now? That's it. You don't have to answer perfectly. You don't have to walk away. You don't have to be strong. You just have to notice. Because the moment you separate the feeling from the action, you take the first step out of the automatic loop. The loop runs on autopilot. The question turns off autopilot. Here's my second tool. I call it the 10-minute bridge. When you want to eat, and you're not hungry, wait 10 minutes. Just 10. Set a timer. Drink a glass of water. Brush your teeth. Walk around the room. Do 10 squats. Call a friend. Anything. After 10 minutes, if you still want the food, eat it. No guilt. No shame. You kept your promise to yourself. But here's what happens 80% of the time: you forget. Because you weren't hungry. You were bored, or stressed, or tired. And 10 minutes later, the urge is gone. It passed like a cloud. Try this tonight. Just once. 10 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Why does the 10-minute bridge work? Because cravings are not constant. A craving is a wave. It rises, peaks, and falls. The peak lasts about 90 to 120 seconds. That's it. 2 minutes. After that, the intensity drops by half. If you wait 10 minutes, the wave has passed. You're not fighting the craving anymore. You're waiting it out. This is not magic. This is tidal science applied to your brain. You can't stop the wave from coming, but you can learn to surf it instead of drowning in it. The moment you stop fighting the craving and start observing it, you win. Because now you're not the victim. You're the scientist watching the experiment. Let me tell you about someone who watched my channel. I'll call her Sarah. Sarah is 34. She works in marketing. She's smart, funny, and has been trying to lose the same 10 kilograms for 6 years. She tried keto, failed. Tried intermittent fasting, failed. Tried meal prep, failed. Tried punishing herself at the gym, failed. Nothing worked long term, because every night, around 10 p.m., she'd open the cupboard and eat handfuls of chocolate chips. Not a bar, just the chips from the baking aisle. Half a bag some nights. She told me she felt like a failure. Like she had no control. Like something was wrong with her. We did the question exercise. For 1 week, she didn't try to stop eating. She just asked, am I hungry or am I tired? Every single night tired. She wasn't hungry. She was exhausted. Her job was draining her. And the chocolate chips were the only 5 minutes of the day that felt like hers. She didn't need a diet. She needed to go to bed earlier and find a hobby that wasn't eating. Within 2 weeks, the night eating dropped by 70%. She didn't change her food. She changed her question. Sarah didn't lose 6 kilos in 2 weeks. But for the first time in 6 years, she stopped gaining. You know what this reminds me of? Impulse spending. You ever buy something at 11 p.m. online? Something you didn't need? A $60 Bluetooth speaker. A weird kitchen gadget. A course you never opened. Then woke up the next morning wondering, why did I buy that? Same mechanism. Same dopamine spike before the purchase. Same crash after. Same shame in the morning. Rich people don't have more willpower than you. They have better rules. They have a 24-hour rule for purchases. Wait a day. Most of the time, you don't want it anymore. Food is the same. The 10-minute rule works because the craving is almost never real hunger. It's habit. And habits can't survive a 10-minute pause. Money and food are the two places where the modern economy has hacked your ancient brain. Same hack. Same solution. Let's talk about boredom. Boredom is not neutral. Boredom is uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't like empty space. So when you're bored, your brain looks for the fastest, cheapest source of stimulation. What's in the kitchen? What's in the cupboard? What's in the fridge? You're not eating because you're hungry. You're eating because you have nothing else to do. Here's a study from the University of Chicago. Researchers gave people two options: sit alone in a room with no phone, no book, nothing for 15 minutes, or give themselves a mild electric shock. 67% of men and 25% of women chose the shock. People would rather feel pain than feel nothing. That's what boredom is. And food is your electric shock. When you eat out of boredom, you're not feeding your stomach. You're feeding your nervous system's need for input. The solution: not more food, more input. A podcast, a walk, a phone call, a puzzle, a 10-minute tidy of one drawer. Anything that's not eating. Okay, so tonight you do the 10-minute bridge. But what about tomorrow morning? Here's your homework for the next 7 days. Day 1. Ask the question before every snack. Just ask. Don't change anything yet. Day 2. Add the 10-minute bridge before your usual night eating. Day 3. Write down what you notice. Bored at 3 p.m. Tired at 10 p.m. Just the pattern. Day 4. Replace one bored snack with a 10-minute walk. Day 5. Replace one tired snack with going to bed 20 minutes earlier. Day 6. Look back at the week. You probably ate less without even trying. Day 7. Rest. You earned it. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be curious. Curiosity kills automatic behavior faster than willpower ever will. So here's where you are right now. You know that late night eating isn't about hunger. You know it's dopamine, stress, boredom, habit, or tiredness. You know the math. 6 kilos a year from 2 cookies. 7 kilos a year from weekends. You know the tools. One question. 10 minutes. That's it. You didn't get here overnight. And you won't fix it overnight. But you can start tonight. Tonight, when you brush your teeth, notice. When you walk past the kitchen, notice. When your hand reaches for the cupboard to stop. Ask hungry or something else. And if you're something else, deal with that. Go to sleep. Call a friend. Drink water. Do nothing. Just wait 10 minutes. 1 week. 10-minute bridges. One question. You got this. My name is Mike. This is Mike Feeds. Subscribe if you're tired of fighting yourself and ready to understand yourself. See you in the next one.